Heavy metal greetings! Today I present you one of the most meaningful, impactful metal albums of the spring 2018. As requested by one of the commentators in some of the videos, I asked Century Media to send Rauta a Judas Priest album called Firepower, and they delivered, thanks to them, and lucky for me, because this album proved to be one of the best albums in the first quarter of 2018. So, Judas Priest been there almost 50 years, and they're still kicking ass. Let's take a look how Firepower looks like. First of all, I must say, this cover image, as cheesy or 1980s as it may look like, I absolutely love it. It tells you the whole story of the album and the title and just everything. Kind of a, 80s cliche vibes, but I am not complaining because all those colors, the idea of the image here, just light. Come on, a absolute, I don't know, robot monster with lots of firepower and killing it, and wonderful colors, beautiful art. So inside, there's nothing much surprising. Lyrics are, there with clear fonts, easy to read, and not too artsy fartsy. They very Judas Priest-like, I guess. And I don't know what else to expect, really. Just, proper lyrics, clear lineup information, and all that stuff. And the CD, well, this is a little bit of surprising, I guess, because I wouldn't expect these kind of glyphs or symbols to be featured on Judas Priest album. Not to mention this CD inlay, and the back cover clearly supports the idea of the cover image, what Firepower is all about. Now, Judas Priest has never exactly been my favorite band, and to be honest, no, I don't know why, or actually I do. I never listened to it as much as I probably should have. I kind of let it pass by. Meanwhile, I was listening to some other bands, and that's something that I has always wanted to kind of, fix. New CDs and bands coming all the time, so not exactly the time for that, but I try to fix that as well. Now, let's talk about Firepower. What makes Firepower so powerful and brilliant album? Now, there are many angles from which to start, so I started with the music. Now, about 58 minutes might seem like a lengthy lesson for most metal bands in the world. And that is true, because most bands playing 60 minutes of heavy metal or other kind of metal ends easily to be too boring, too much repetition and whatnot. But not Judas Priest, not with Firepower anyway. The thing is, none of these tracks feel like it doesn't belong here. Even though there are lots of music on the CD, many tracks, and one could imagine there are some hits and misses. Well, this is mostly about just hits. I'm not saying that each of these tracks are something that people will remember as equal to, say others. And it's clear that this won't be a kind of a painkiller after painkiller and whatever. But it kind of surprises me how extraordinary great album they have put up. I mean, there's no single track that, in my opinion, feels like a kind of a leftover or some kind of a filler track. Every track from the beginning to the very end sounds like it belongs on this album. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for single tracks like lightning strikes or anything else. It just, seems to be there right in the right place. And that is, in my opinion, one of the signs that this is truly a good album. Now, of course, good songs require good riffs and good singing and all that. And I'm fortunate to say all these elements are there. I mean, it's not like every riff can be the best of the world kind of a idea. Not even with the Judas Priest album. But if I, in comparison, take a look in other, major metal names, say like Metallica or Iron Maiden, they feel sloppy nowadays. I mean, it's given that they are very talented when it comes to music and, creating these compositions and, singing and whatever instrument we're talking about. But for Iron Maiden, Book of Souls or Metallica's Hardwired, they are not on par with their previous work. I mean, for Metallica, for instance, I cannot name any good album from 90s or 2000s that could be, doing the same level of material than the material in 80s. And pretty much same words apply, in my opinion, to Iron Maiden as well. Now, surely there are some better tracks and better albums than some others, but still, 80s were the golden times, and in my opinion, neither of those bands have managed to, come to that golden era again. But Judas Priest has. For example, Firepower is so much stronger than some previous works that were, coming 2000s, whatever. And I think it's wonderful news. Even though these guys are now ready for a retirement home, at least when it comes to their age or whatnot, Firepower is so full of energy that it could be an album that was done by some 20-year-olds, except for the lack of experience, of course. But everything from, production, from every single detail, when it comes to guitar solos, drum sounds, guitar tunes, or, just singing, it's top notch. I don't know, maybe this is not a 5 out of 5 kind of a magnificent, awesome, super album, but it's not really far from that either. I mean, just everything was clicking the right way. This is like a, holy grail, in a sense that this is something that we have been looking for, since these majestic old bands started their career, made their fantastic albums, and then kind of vanished into the pages of history. I mean, of course, they're good in live and, taking, stadiums and whatnot. But as far as it comes to, creating wonderful albums, like I said, Iron Maiden, Metallica, they are not what they used to be. Judas Priest didn't feel like that, certainly, until I think now. I am not able to comment every possible album. Like I said, I've never been too much into Judas Priest, except for some tracks here and there or some albums here and there, which are of course good, but I kind of lost track what they were doing. And last time I heard a new Judas Priest album, I think it was this Nostradamus album, which kind of had the Judas Priest feeling, but not the quality of the classics. What I was just saying about Iron Maiden and Book of Souls, obviously. But Firepower is a different breed. It's like a comeback album of sorts. And maybe I'm totally the wrong person to say that, because like I said, I've never been too much a fan, and people now might be, saying with their fingers upwards, like, you have been missing this one, you should check out that one, you're talking right out of your bottom. That might be true, I don't deny it. But it doesn't really matter. I was asked for a Firepower review, and that's what I'm telling you about. This is such a great album, like, it just got me basically flat-footed. Like, I was expecting something quite nice, and even so, because, like some of my colleagues, were praising Firepower, and I'm like, maybe I'm not gonna like it that much, because even though I like traditional, classic heavy metal, sometimes it's just a matter of taste. Sometimes things just click magically, sometimes don't. And what a wonderful surprise this was. Firepower is a kind of epitome of, the traditional 1980s heavy metal brought into 2018. Kind of a middle finger to those who just think that old farts cannot do jack stuff. I mean, this is just, paving the road for other bands to come, just like, try to follow us, what we can do. Even though we're old, we are not unskilled, we are not lacking the talent, we are not lacking the vision. We're creating a perfect album for people who are into traditional heavy metal. Judas Priest promised, or at least delivered. I don't know what they promised. I'm just talking out of my, But check out Firepower. I pretty much can guarantee that if you ever like heavy metal, this is your cup of tea. And I guess already Judas Priest fans know that because I'm quite late with the album here, but nevertheless, it's never too late to praise an album that surely deserves some praise. Firepower, check it out and go get yourself some good deal of heavy metal. See ya!